if the exponent's negative, we move it to the left. That's different than yesterday, because when the exponent was negative yesterday, we moved it to the right because we were starting with regular notation. So it's opposite when you start the opposite way. That's why always have your keep sheet. Okay, so we're going to do some examples. So for the first one, we have 7.5 times 10 to the 5th power. So the exponent is positive. This exponent tells you how many places to move the decimal, and since it's positive, I'm going to go to the right. So I have 7.5, and I'm going to move that decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to put zeros in these blank places. So my answer, 7.5 times 10 to the 5th, is 750,000, which is the same thing as 750,000. So part of the reason we have scientific notations is because it's a much shorter way to write an enormous number. So sometimes on your calculator you will see like a weird symbol. So I'm going to show you real quick what I'm talking about. So it's kind of hard to see that, but if I did a huge number, okay, that number is so big that it won't fit on the calculator. It's really, really hard to see, but there's a times 10 to the 13th power. That means that there's more zeros after it. So the calculator can't fit an unlimited amount of digits, but it's telling you that if you kept going, there would be that many more digits after the decimal. Okay, so your calculators use scientific notation. All right, we have 3.8 times 10 to the 4th power. So this 4 tells me how many places to move to the right because it's positive. So I have 3.8, and I move it 4 places. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my answer, 3.8 times 10 to the 4th in regular notation, is 38,000. Now, those commas are not necessary. You don't have to put a comma if you don't want to, but it helps me with place value, so that's why I do it. So positive exponents, we move to the right. Negative exponents, we're going to move to the left. So now we have 4.2, and we're going to move it to the left 3 places because it's at 4.2 times 10 to the negative 3. So 1, 2, 3. So we get, and I'm going to put a 0 in front of it just because it looks better. So we have 42 ten-thousandths, I think. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Yeah, 10,000ths. Okay, and then our next one we have 7.51 times 10 to the negative 5th. So that means we move to the left 5 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 0, 0, 0, 0, 7, 5, 1. Okay. So you should have already completed this left side. We're going to change from scientific to regular notation. So when you start with exponents, you're going to follow these rules on this side. Okay? So I would honestly even write like negative to the left, positive to the right. Whereas on this side it was negative to the left and positive to the right, because we're changing them to each other. Okay, so what I want you to do at your team, I want you to do these 10. Let's start with 10 minutes and see how we're doing, and then we'll check ourselves. Okay, so work with the people around you. If you need to move your bodies, that's fine with me. When you're finished with those 10, just put your pencil down so that way I know you're ready. Show me with your fingers. 0, 1, or 2 more minutes. All right, let's start with 1 and then I'll check in again and see if we still need 1 more. One or 0 more minutes. Show me with your fingers. Okay, I'm going to give you 1 more minute. All right, let's check. Okay, so I'm going to project my answers. That does not mean copy what I did. If you got one wrong, we're going to go over it. I'll go over all of them if you want me to, because I'd rather you have them correct than... Okay, so 9.46 times 10 to the negative 6. That means I move my decimal to the left, sorry, this way, 6 spaces. So you should have 5 zeros and then 946. Because I'm going to write this a little bit smaller. I move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this little number does not mean the number of zeros, it means the number of places. And since this 9 is counted as a place, I can do 6 minus 1 and I get 5, so I'm adding 5 zeros. Okay, 2.5 times 10 to the third, move it 1, 2, 3 places to the right because it's positive, so it's 2,500. 3 should be 0.016. Because I have 1.6 and I move it 2 spaces to the left. 4 times 10 to the fifth, you should add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. 7.25 times 10 to the fourth should be 72,500. Should put commas. That'd be easier. 6, you're moving your decimal 8 places to the left. So this is a pretty long decimal. 0.0000003245 And then on the next one, we're moving our decimal 3 places to the left. Remember that there's always an invisible decimal point in all whole numbers. So even though there's not a decimal here, if you don't see a decimal, it's to the right. So now we move it 1, 2, 3. 9.7 times 10 to the seventh. So I'm moving 7 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 5.06 times 10 to the negative fourth, so I'm going to the left, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 800, 8 times 10 to the second, just like the one, like number 7, there's that invisible decimal at the end, so I move it 1, 2. Were there any particular ones that even after I talked about how I got it, you're still not sure how I got it? That you want me to talk about a little bit deeper? Okay, so this yellow sheet should be complete. It needs to stay in your binder, wherever you're keeping your handouts. On this paper, okay, so real quick before you start putting stuff away or up. So this paper you did yesterday, you did the bottom half on both sides. Today, I want you to do the top half on both sides. It says due September 17th. I put that because this is the day that we should have this whole thing completed. If you have to take it home for homework, that's fine, but work on it tonight. So this top half up here and then the top half here. If for whatever reason you run out of things to do, you won't, because I made sure that you have additional practice, which will honestly help you with your test. Okay, you don't have a test this week, but I'm just saying it'll help you. So I put the practice, I connected it again, so that way if you lose it, you have a copy. And then in the keys folder, there is a key for today already, so you can check your work. I even put a key for the extra practice, so you can check your work. Okay? What questions do you have before you get started? I'll also put a copy of the yellow sheet that is completed, so that way you can, if you lose it, you can fill it out. Alrighty, go ahead and get started. You're welcome to work together.